0. Good afternoon, everyone. We are happy to be here with us. We are happy to be here with you, so you're most welcome. You might be asking yourself, this internet that you're using, how safe is it? How safe is our data? So we'd like Clarice to take us through what safety is all about on the internet. So as she's going to present, kindly mute your microphone so that we don't have echoes. And we are going to hear what she's presenting well. For those who have joined us, we want to welcome you and welcome our facilitator, Clarice, and just take it away.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Feel free. This is going to be an interactive presentation. I'm going to share my screen as I do my presentation. And just as Rosie said, I'm Clarice Bwanga, a member of Gigi Kenya and a co-leader, Nakuru. Rosie is also a co-leader. And in this presentation, we are going to do the presentation, the two of us. The presentation is going to be done with the two of us. That is me, Clarice, and Fred Sagwe, who is our leader. Hope she will be joining us very soon. So our topic today is digital safety and citizen curriculum. But we are going to start with the Google Be Internet Awesome. That is what we are going to start with. So I will take you through the agendas on what we are going to cover and how we are going to alternate with my co-presenter. So our agenda today, number one will be Internet Awesome Curriculum, which is very important at this era of COVID-19, because we know our children, mostly they use these devices. The second one is going to be digital citizenship course for teachers, which is also good for teachers to know how they can take a course with the Google, and it will also enlighten them in such a way that as they continue doing their normal presentation, they will be in a position to guide the youth, specifically the youth, on how to behave, on how to work with their devices. So those are the first two that I will take you. Thereafter, Fred will come in and take you through media literacy and fake news. He will also talk about the security and screen time. And lastly, I will wrap it up by just doing an interactive presentation that will be using peer deck, just to see if what we have presented, you are in a position, you have mastered some. And during this particular time, it's going to be we are going to interact, and mostly what we are going to concentrate on will be Internet Awesome. So I will go straight on my first presentation, which is Be Internet Awesome. So when I talk about Be Internet Awesome, there are 5 major things that you're supposed to be putting into consideration when you are dealing with internet. The first one, you're supposed to be smart, or sometimes we say you're supposed to be sharp. That will be my objective. I will show you how to be smart. I will show you how also to be alert, how to be strong, how to be kind, and lastly, on how to be brave. So let's go to the objective number 1. My objective number 1 is smart. So when we talk about smart, in this particular objective, what I want you to know is that smart, share with care. That's what I mean. What you want to share, you must be in a position to share it with care. What do I mean by sharing it with care? Because anything that you are going to post will have some information about you. For example, when I talk of big smart share with care, it's like, for example, you want to go for a trip. And maybe you are staying in an area that is not really safe, and you go and post that, oh, such and such a day we'll be living with my family, we'll be going to Mombasa, we take 2 weeks. And just as you know, not everybody will always be wanting good for you. So it's already in the social media that you're going to live. So at the end of the day, that person who had ill motive might come in and break into your house because of what you shared publicly on the social media. That's why I say understand the information that you want to share. Another thing is, I want to give another example when we talk about smart. Imagine you are doing a presentation and you are relying on a wireless, or you are relying on a you are relying on a neighbor's internet. So what happens? During that particular time of your presentation, you just find the wireless is off. You are unable to do your presentation. Why? Because maybe you had a good motive, but maybe somebody somewhere did not have a good motive of your presentation. So somebody might go and turn off the wireless, meaning that you will have been disorganized, as you will be finding ways on how to make your presentation go at the right time. And remember, when you're doing presentation, you should be keeping time. So by the time you'll be wasting doing other things or trying to find how to fix on how to do your presentation, not everybody will be waiting for you to come and see on what you want to present. Some will give up, and at the end of the day, you might have not achieved of your objective. So that is very important. And also when we tell our kids on what to post, especially on the social media. Another example, your child may have your phone or your device. You never know, it's about some very private information. So this particular private information, you really didn't want it to go online. But by mistake, being that you are not teach them on how to be care on what they are posting, just find the student or the child who had your phone has posted. That's what I really want to talk about smart. And when I say about footprint is all what you post in your social media. So people will view you. You know, people have different ways of viewing people. So people will view you depending on what you are posting. So these are some of the directives that we should be find on how to advise our children, to advise the youths on what they are posting. And something like when we talk of share with family. So that's whereby sometimes it's always also good to know how to tighten your security. So when we talk of to know how to tighten your security, you will find that I'll give an example of Facebook. When you are using a Facebook, you find that you can put your security in order in such a way that there is that particular group of that people that you have identified that they are family. So there are some posts that you will only want the family to see. So during that particular time, you make sure that that security is on. There are those posts that you'll only want your friends to see. So during that particular, you should also be in a position to choose that. Those people can be in a position maybe to view your posts are only your friends, and that will help us. Another thing under this is learn to see privacy in different angles. Yeah. So when I say that learn to see privacy in different angles, what am I trying to drive across here? I'm trying to bring the point, something to me might be very private, and to another person, it is not private. A very good example, maybe when I'm in an outing with my son, I may be happy and I post all the pictures on the social media. But to another person, it will not be good posting about family matters, or maybe when they're having good times with their family on the social media. So that's why I'm saying it is very important to learn to see privacy in different angles. So when you know the people that you are dealing with, you will know what to post and what not to post. And lastly, under being smart here, is oversharing. You may find anything you find you dump on your social media, Facebook, on your Twitter, anything. You even know you have not gone through it, you have just found it somewhere, you are just dumping it on your status, you are dumping it on your My Story on the Facebook, you are dumping it on your timeline, you go to Instagram, you go to Twitter. When you overshare, sometimes the disadvantage of oversharing is sometimes maybe you may be wanting to pass a very important information, but because people are used to you on oversharing, people may just pass the data or the information that you want to pass that might not go well with you. So I think that is all about being smart. The next one is be alert. What I mean by be alert here, I will really not dwell so much on this because I think this is what Fred, our leader, is going to talk about, fake news. But I'll just in a nutshell, when we say be alert, this is whereby you find that there are many messages that are on social media, like you'll find like in a WhatsApp, somebody just come and post that today Facebook is celebrating, and therefore it has given everybody 3 GB. So you will really wonder where it's written that the Facebook will be celebrating. So you find that this is whereby if you are not very smart enough, people will get into account. And many times you are going to realize that many of us sometimes have fallen into this trap, whereby they bring some words that are so luring, give this, and you at the end of the day, you find that what you are doing, you have already given all your information, and that's how you find out they start hacking you. Maybe if it was Facebook, you now start wondering, I didn't post this on my timeline. And all of a sudden, you find some nudes on your timeline. So in such particular areas, we should be very smart. I've said I'm not going to dwell so much about don't fall for fake, because I know Fred is going to talk about it much when he'll be talking about the fake news. Yeah, so the next one that I will talk, which is very important, is strong. What do I mean about strong here? Strong here entails your security. How do you secure your secrets when you are on a digital platform? When you're on a digital platform, it is very important to understand security matters. So why do I say it's very important? Because sometimes you find there's some information, and especially in an email. I want to say about an email. You go to the cyber, you find most of us are fallen on this trip. You go to the cyber, check on your emails, and immediately after you have checked on your email there, you forget to log out. And when you forget to log out, you will find yourself, maybe the person when you are entering, and that's why it's always also be very, very smart here. The person operating there, when you are keying in, you are logging in your details, there's always that particular box that normally comes in, whereby it always pop and ask you, do you really want to save your password here? Don't be very, especially when you are dealing with the public devices or computers, don't be very fast by allowing to save your details on those particular platforms. Why? I will give you a very good example. If you go to Google, if you just go to Google, and I hope you will see my screen. If you click on this particular part, there are some 3 eclipses here. When you click on this, you'll find somewhere written settings. So if you choose on that settings, and then on your address bar here, you just come and type /password. So like you can see on my Chrome, it's Chrome settings /password. You will find that all those people who have logged into my laptop and have never signed out, I have their detail. So if I was malicious, I will want to know their detail. I will just come here and it will show me all this. And when you check on this, you'll find all these people have logged in into my laptop. So it is always very, very important to understand the security. And what we will also want to, although maybe I'll talk about it again, is how to create a strong password. Password is like a gate pass. If you want to get into a particular place, for example, let me say you want to get into, maybe you're in the army forces, you must have a gate pass. Minus a gate pass, you cannot get into it. So that's why it's always advisable to create a strong password. And nowadays, it has always been very good in such a way that almost any account that you are getting into, be it Facebook, be it you want to open your Gmail, you want to open Outlook, Microsoft Outlook, you want to open Yahoo, all these particular digital platforms, they have tried, not really as such, but they have tried to tighten their security in such a way that nowadays, for you to create a password, not like initially, whereby you will create a password by just typing 3 words and you are good to go. Nowadays, you'll find that most digital platform does not allow that. They will ask you to be in a position to enter the password. They'll give you some guidelines. Like your password must have uppercase, must have lowercase, and must have symbols. So, and numerics. So you're going to find that it will be very, very difficult for a person to get into your account, and your account will be secure. So that is what I mean by being strong. So the next one is kind. It's good. It's cool to be kind, and especially on this platform. We say it's always good to be kind. Why do we say it's good? It's good to be kind. What you will do to others, especially on the social media, what you will do to others, be expecting them also to be in a position to do for you exactly what you're doing to them. So when I say it's good to be kind, I will say define positive behaviors. So positive behavior is that what you are posting on the platform, is it really kind about a person? So those are the things you're supposed to be in a position to do. And here is whereby you should avoid things like bullying, because you'll find that during this particular time, and especially with the youth, there is a lot of bullying. So what I mean by bullying here, this is whereby you'll find that you just go, maybe they were playing a positive game. Like they like playing maybe a football match online, and all of a sudden you start insulting the fellow. They start insulting. So this is the fellow colleague that they are playing. So these are the things we are supposed to be advising our kids, that they should be kind. And also how to make, for example, you find that a student has gone to maybe you are presenting something in class, and there's a student who didn't really present it well. So one of the classmates go and post that particular presentation on one of the social media. Automatically, the student who was doing the presentation that did not go well might not really feel well about what the fellow colleague has posted. So we should find a way on how to understand these students. So the very, very first thing, as teachers, what we should be doing if you get such information, because mostly the students we should also encourage them to be reporting to us. You should be in a position to call the students that had posted the wrong data. One thing, advise the students to delete it. And another thing also, if you can be in a position, you try and you try to comment, try and find how you can comment positively. on that particular statement. And when we do this, we'll make sure that the student who was intimidated will have built the self-confidence of the student. It's always very dangerous. It's very dangerous, and it affects the youth, especially when someone play around with their self-esteem. So by you posting a positive comment, it will build the student, and the student will know that, oh yes, I can be in a position to do it. So, and lastly, it's being brave. So when I talk of brave here is when hello?
Hello, Clarice.
Yes.
Yeah, just to emphasize on the point of bullying,
Yeah.
I've realized it's not just with students, even grown-ups.
Yeah.
Especially with this social media thing,
Yeah.
on Twitter, Facebook. Just like you said, let us just be careful with what we share, what we post here on social media, because while you might these students, the students and the youth and our younger ones, they try to copy what we yeah. So when you're not kind, you wouldn't expect kindness from them. So let us be kind and just set an example to them.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the addition. You have seen it is not only the teenagers that does this, but also the grown-ups. So what we post on the social media, let us always be very, 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 very cautious. And I have said in such particular, if you find that, another thing that if you find that the student, maybe if now you find that is, for example, like now that will make me to address it on another angle. Because if it's for the student, maybe you can talk to the student as a teacher, and the students listen to you and go and pull down the post. But now if it comes to an adult and you find that the adult is adamant and is feeling sweet because of what he has posted, what you're supposed to be doing in this particular situation, you just report. There are those platforms that you can report. In WhatsApp, there's that option of reporting to the providers. You can also in Facebook, there's that. So there are always some ways to be in a position to do that. And I think that is that. Before now, I move to the next one, which is another thing is now that when you try and support, especially maybe if they are teenagers, you try and tell them, if they realize one of them is messing another colleague, tell them, there's this term tell them to be upstanders, not bystanders. Upstander is somebody who will try and you have posted something negative, but the person will try and counteract it in a positive manner. But when we talk of bystanders are this kind of people, but anyway, it does not concern me. So they don't even care. And okay, they are witnessing there is some harassment, but it does not. They don't want to intervene. It's like they don't even care. So let us not try to be bystanders. Mostly we can be upstanders, and that one will help us. Well, if you find that if the student also see another thing, especially for the grown-ups, that's why I'm now talking this, try and block the person. If you go to WhatsApp, if you find that there's some particular person who is just trying to post some harassment chats to your inbox, there's that option, block and report. Go to Facebook, you can do the same. You can unfriend the person, and that one it will really help us. So we should be in a position to check on those particular options. So I think I'm going to wind up the B Internet Awesome with how to be brave. So when we talk of brave, this is something which is very, very, very important. Brave means we talk it out. Don't be intimidated. And this one now, I will merge it with if the student is not brave, or even if the adult is not brave, the adults may not be in a position to talk about it. So encourage the kids to ask for help, especially when they see such particular posts. They should be in a position to, maybe they can talk to the teacher, they can talk to the parents, and they can also talk to their close friend. But it is very important to be your kids' best friends. Because if you really don't, and that's why during this particular time, and I think that's why the GG Kenya found it very important to bring this topic, this particular time whereby the students are interacting with the device throughout. Let me talk throughout, because you find they are learning with the device and they are on the device throughout. If you really don't, your kid has not built self-confidence in you that they can share with you, they may not be in a position to ask you for help. And another thing, you may find that somebody is recruiting them, especially even into drug, they are watching bad things. And because they are not so close to you, they don't want to be in a position to share with you what they are going through. So that is why I'm saying we have to build the confidence on our kids so that they will be in a position to understand us and be open to us. So another thing, after that, in this braveness, after you have already gotten there, that consider the situation. So if you find the situation, you can just call those who are not, and you talk to them, and things work out well and good. If you find the situation is beyond, you can report. So those are some of the options. And not only online, if you find that now it's becoming, you are a parent and the kid is experiencing this bullying from a student, it will force you now even to go physically to school and address the issue on face-to-face. And that will be very awesome. And you will have solved the situation by even helping other kids. So I think that marks my presentation on Be Internet Awesome. And I will just go straight, because I will just go straight to the next one, which is very essential. And this one is essential for teachers, or maybe
Clarice,
you can guide if we can break for some questions and all that.
yes, Clarice, we want to thank you so much for taking us through the Be Awesome, Be Internet Awesome, and you have really shared great things. That we must be smart, we must be strong, we must be kind and brave. That is very important. Now, before you continue, probably we can give the audience time to ask questions as you prepare yourself to take us through the next session. And kindly, I request you to enlarge your screen so that we are able to see the wordings. They are not so clear. And that is in your next presentation. So kindly, if you have a question, you can raise up your hand, or you can use the chat. And Clarice is there to answer your questions. These things that we are experiencing during this time of internet, we need to be safe. We need to be careful with whatever we are sharing on the internet. So if you have any questions, kindly chat, or you can raise up your hand and unmute yourself and go on. Thank you so much. Is there anybody with a question or an addition? You know, there are some people who have ideas. They have tried one or two things that have been talked about. Probably you can share your experience.
Rosie, I think if there's no question, because I've only tackle Agenda 1, and we have around 6. Allow me to proceed so that, okay, Rosie, can you read that?
Yes, there is a chat there from Gaming Mamba. So overly is it strong to post about so overly, is it wrong to post about family on social media?
Okay, I will answer that in two perspectives. Remember, I said it depends, it will automatically depend on what you are posting about social media. I've given a very good example is I'm going for a trip. The people I'm not staying in a very friendly environment, and they are my friends in Facebook. I say I'm going to Mombasa. We are going to take 3 weeks. After that, we'll go to from Mombasa. We'll have a stop by in Nairobi, and thereafter I shall move and then come back after maybe the 2nd week. There is that person who is ill motive. The person might come and open my house and steal my thing because he knows very well these people are not around. So it will depend on what you want to, the content that you want to post on the social media. And anything before you post about a family member, I think you should get their consent. There are those people who will not want their information to be on social media. I remember there's a time I was in college and we were on games. I posted a lady's photo and the lady just told me, no, I'm not really comfortable with my picture be on the social media. So I had no otherwise than to pull down. So the most important thing is that before posting any information about a particular person, be sure that you you get their consent.
Thank you so much, Clarice. That was well answered. We have Francis who is requesting that we share the link so that they can review the lesson afterwards. That has been taken note of. Francis, the link is going to be available. Then Sheila Luther is saying, I don't think it's wrong. I think Sheila is trying to react to what Gaming was asking. So I think I will allow you to move on to the next presentation.
Okay, let's allow Rosie.
Yes.
And Sheila so that Sheila can maybe expound. You know, it's an interactive lesson.
All right.
So let Sheila tell us more about it. Okay, Sheila, unmute yourself.
Yeah, just to support my point, well, it can be either. First of all, I'm not. You've talked about getting people's consent, which I agree. And another thing, this one I got from this celebs. Like sometimes you might post that you're in maybe Dubai, and somebody takes advantage and actually follows you or does something that is not really good. So one thing that I got about this posting, it will be good. Sometimes, yeah, you go to your vacation, take photos, but don't post in real time. Not just don't post. You can if you want, but just to confuse and maybe, especially if you're very prominent, a celebrity, or a very public person, I think it's good you post when you're out of that place. You get. So Pengine, you had visited Dubai, say last month. I'm visiting Dubai this week. I think it's encouraged for you to post the photos, say the following week. And that's why we always told that don't believe everything in social media. People will be posting photos of their vacation that they went to, and maybe that vacation happened in December, or maybe, or even last Easter. And you might be seated there thinking that these people are on vacation, but they're seated pretty at home. So yeah, that's another security concern that people should adopt.
Okay, thank you, Sheila. That is also good because we are learning. It is good to confuse your enemies. I may be posting that I'm going, but in real sense, and I think Fred will tackle that intensively about what you post.
Okay, we have someone, Michael has said, I think it may, I think you may, but share wisely. That is issues of sharing your pictures of family members on social media. Then Confidence would like to share her thoughts on the same. So probably you can, we can have Michael supporting his point, and then we can give Confidence 2 minutes to wrap it up. Yes, Michael, unmute yourself.
Okay. What I mean is when you are sharing your information, and especially about your family members and your family in particular, it's always good to remember that any information you put out can be copied and it can be forwarded. Once you put out this information out there, you no longer have control over it. That means somebody can pick that up and share it somewhere else. So before you actually share this information, it's always good to think about what is there and are you sharing it publicly? You know, those privacy settings, they are really important that you have the right privacy settings. Don't just post it and it's going out to the public and you don't know who will copy it, and you can actually, as we have been told, if you try searching your name, maybe on a Google search engine, because that's where we all go when we want information, you might find somebody else has posted something about you that you shared in a different column. So it's always good to be careful on the information you are sharing, and especially if you are sharing it publicly. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Michael. I would just want to say, I think maybe I said that the most important thing is that when you are doing that, when you are sharing your information, make sure you tighten. I remember using the word you tighten your security. So I will give you a very good example, especially if it's on Facebook. Let me talk of Facebook. If it's on Facebook, you are going to find that you can put your settings, or you can make your settings in such a way that nobody can forward that information. So those are some of the things that you should be doing. And also remember, when I was talking, I said that Facebook has settings whereby there are those people that you have grouped as family. So if it is about family issue, I think it will be better to make sure that when you are doing that post, the setting is that only the family members are able to see that particular posting. Otherwise, thank you for the interaction. I think
Maybe one last one. Well. Maybe one last one from Confidence. She had requested to share something. Yeah, Confidence, kindly unmute yourself and go on.
To say, but talking about posting online, one thing I want every one of us to always consider before you post online is what risk are you exposing yourself to? There's a general slogan which says, think before you post. If I went for a vacation in Dubai, how many of my friends, my loved ones, my family are happy about me being in Dubai? So it's very critical that we know before you put anything, you ask yourself, let's even pause the area of security settings and everything. What are the risks I'm exposing myself and my family to? With that at the back of your mind, it will place a caution on you putting up anything online. So regardless of whatever the security settings are, the first thing is we need to halt, think. Is this thing at the end of the day, what is the essence of me posting myself being in Dubai? Am I the first person to be in Dubai? What am I showing off? And what are the risks behind my showing off that I am in Dubai? So in summary, before we put anything online, and which we should also advise our very young people, before they put anything online, think before you post. If you know it's not hurting you or any member of your family, fine. But if it hurts you, directly or indirectly, or any member of your family, then there's no reason for you to put it online. Even if there's security or privacy settings on the platform you are working with. So think before you put a summary and a caution for anybody trying to put on anything online. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Clarice, kindly continue because of time.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so I think we have exhausted BOSAM. So the next particular topic is that I want to talk about is it's more about, let me do something. I was told my screen is not really well. Rosie, I hope now my screen is visible enough.
Yes, it's visible. Thank you so much. It's visible.
Okay.
Thank you. Just continue.
Okay, so what I want to, which I think I will not take so much on this because it's equivalently related with BOSAM. I will want to talk about the digital citizenship course for the teachers, and not only for the teachers. It can be even for all those people in this forum. Well, this is a course that is offered by the Google for Education, and it will only take something less than 2 hours and you get a badge. And it is evident from my presentation that at least I've attended this particular course. So Fred is going to share with us some links on how we can be in a position to maneuver ourselves and be in a position to take this particular course. So I will go straight to my objectives. And in this particular objective, I think I will dwell on 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5 is more or less the same as what Fred is going to present. So it's about teach students about internet safety, online safety on the go, stay safe from phishing and scams, managing online reputation, and lastly, it's more about of the fake news, whereby the Fred will tackle it. So, teaching students about internet safety, I think about creating a strong password. We talked about it, and it will be very needless to do a repetition of it. So when you are creating a strong password, I will go to the objective number 2, whereby it talks about creating a passphrase. When creating a password, don't use your name, your personal identity, your personal information. Things like maybe when you are born, where you are school, where you schooled, your name. That one, you make the hackers work very easily. Yeah, hackers are those people who get unauthorized access to your account without your knowledge. So what we are trying to advise people is when you are creating a password, use what we term as create a passphrase. The passphrase means that, for example, I want to create a password for my email account. I will just remember a phrase. A very good example, I say I can put a phrase like, I met Sheila in Nairobi in 2020. So I will go and take I will take the first letter of I, and then M, and then S, and then I, and in 2020. So it will be very easy for me to remember those words when I want to get my password. So that is what I say, that you create a passphrase. Another one is enable two-factor authentication. And this one is what you find that people are nowadays doing, and especially in when you lose your password. There is what we term as, they want to really know, like you lose your Gmail account, you'll find that there's that Gmail. If you signed using a phone, they will tell you to sign in. After signing in, they will now send another message to your mobile phone saying that this is the code. So they'll be asking you, if you are sure this is your email, then enter a code. So when you enable two-factor authentication, it is very easy. And this one, I will tell you for real, it has really worked for the Equity Bank. Initially, you will just find that somebody will just go to the app or the Easy Banking. When the person gets into the app of the Easy Banking, the person is using a laptop, the person does not have my Equitel line. So the person just withdraw the monies, and that's how there's been a lot of people laundering a lot of people's money. But now the new app that the Equity people have, they have that enable two-factor authentication. You log in with maybe a device like a laptop if you have it on your device. And before they authenticate the transfer of that money where you want to take it into that particular account, they send a code. And this code automatically has to be in line with the device. So if they're sending a code to, you are logging in using a different device where the line is not in, automatically you will not be in a position to do your hacking. And also here is about signing out. I think I talk about signing out and the importance of signing out. If you don't sign out, you leave your account open. And if you leave your account open, it means that the person, especially if you're using the public devices or computer, maybe you go to cybercafe and you want to go to cybers, and you have, especially for the teachers, most of them you find go to cyber to download their payslip. All your details you leave there, and you make it easy for the next person coming to use the computer, because you did not log out or you did not sign out. The person is able to get your details and information. And lastly is about privacy and security. Privacy, we will not dwell so much about it. We have talked about it, is whereby make sure that you know what you want people to see. So if you know what you want people to see, that is what you can be in a position to be posting. And security, tighten your security in such a way that nobody will be in a position to get into your details or forward your details. So the next objective under this career, this particular topic, was online safe on the go. What do I mean by how will you be online safe on the go? You find that most of people, like especially I believe all of us, anytime you want to get into WhatsApp, when you want to get into Facebook, when you want to get into Twitter using your phone, you don't really need to go and enter your password every now and then. It is just automatically when you touch on the icon for Facebook, the Facebook account is open. So it is advisable to lock your device. What do I mean by locking your device? Locking your device is that that anyone can get in. What happens here is whereby you can use pattern. And most devices, if you use pattern, you can either decide to be the pattern to be visible or the pattern not to be visible. And I will advise you, when you're locking it using a pattern, let the pattern not to be invisible, so that the person, any person who wants to get into your device is unable to. So that is very important. And if you are using a PIN, which is just like a password. Make sure you create a password. Don't use a password that are consecutive. Like you can say, don't use password like 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or you start from 6, 7, 8, 9. That one is very easy to gaze. And the next, when you talk of online safe downloads. What you download, you have to be very, very cautious, especially the pop-up message. The pop-up message are always very dangerous because they'll tell you that you have won 1,000 shillings. Download it. Those messages normally comes in such a way that they are luring you, and when you download it, you might end up downloading a malware. A malware is just a type of a virus that might be pretending to doing useful things in your computer, but at the background is damaging your device. Another thing, lastly, is about connecting to wireless or connecting to Wi-Fi. When you are connected, don't be so quick to find a free Wi-Fi and just connect it. And I'm also not saying that when there's a free Wi-Fi, don't connect. But there are some things that you're supposed to be putting onto consideration about when you're connecting. Never, when you're on a free wireless, never connect to the account, and especially maybe where you are doing an online transaction with your bank. Don't do that because there is where you find hackers and they are always at standby. So they will steal your information and they go and do their own things. And at the end of the day, you will find that you have been automatically disadvantaged by them getting into your account. Another, when connecting to Wi-Fi, some Wi-Fi are not safe. And that's whereby you may find you are from a Wi-Fi, your phone was okay, all of a sudden the phone is misbehaving. So meaning that somewhere the phone might have been infected with a virus. So that is something that is also very key on that area. So when we talk about staying safe from phishing and scam, so these are some of the things that I will want us to talk about, are things like social engineering. Social engineering, we say it's a technical term that normally trick you to reveal your personal information, and they normally come into such a way that you realize that you have been conned, you have already revealed your personal information. So when we say safe on this, you should be in a position to identify social engineering emails. So social engineering emails, these are emails that are always they are very attractive. They will even tell you that, like, for example, if you are a TSC teacher, you just find somebody has posted onto your inbox, the TSC has promoted you, blah, 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 and all that. This is what you're supposed to be doing, do this. And by the time you do it, you find that you have given all your details. So how do we avoid social engineering emails or this? One thing, if you find that, just be in a position to open another tab. Copy that particular copy that URL that they have given you, post it on the new tab. You will be in a position, I know Fred is going to tackle that well, because one of the major things where we check on the fake information is whereby we check on the URL. If you are URL there's no padlock, a green padlock, or it does not start with the word, the HTTPS, there's no word S, which stands for authentication and security, that automatically will show you that that was a fake email. So that is it about avoiding scams on the web, and then identifying other types of scams. So other types of scams, I've told you, not only in the email, some will come even as you are using. If you are using an app and you just see some pop-up messages, those you have to be very careful on how to deal with those types of scams. So lastly, before now I hand over to Fred to share with you about about fake news, is managing online reputation. And I think Confidence elaborate on this. Before you post, ask yourself, is it really wise sharing what you're posting? Also establish your own boundary and respect other people's boundary. And I think this one I tackle whereby I say that before posting any information about a person, maybe a picture or a video, can you try to get their consent? Lastly, be kind online. And when you are kind, automatically you will be an upstander. Remember I told you, an upstander is a person who will always try. Maybe you had posted a wrong information about a person that the person feels so much demoralized, but an upstander will post a comment that will make the person who felt demoralized see that there's life again. So I think that marks the end of my presentation. Fred is going to come in and talk about fake news, and I think this is whereby he's going to talk about the same research. So when we talk of legitimate and dubious source of information, so how will you be in a position to know this? First, get to know where the information is coming from, get to know who has posted it, get to know why was the reason and when it was posted. So I said I don't want to dwell on this because if I talk on this so much, it's like I'll be covering on what Fred is going to be tackling. Otherwise, thank you. And this particular time, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and allow Fred to continue with the fake news and then about security and screen. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Clarice, for the job well done. You have covered teach students about internet safety, online safe on the go, staying safe from phishing and scam, and managing online reputation as well as survey search. That is very good. I believe we have all received very good information from Clarice. And now the floor is yours, Fred. Kindly take us through.
Thank you so much, everyone, for attending the session. I'm so happy for the presentation from Caris. That's been a fantastic and so inspiring. So mine, I want to be short because I think she has done most of the presentations. So I was just tackling a few items here, and then maybe you can do one or two about what we can see on what she has done so far. So without much ado, I want to share my screen. You allow me to present my screen such that I can in a position.
It's okay, Fred, go ahead.
Yeah. So that's the introduction. You can see my name there in the DD reader, and that's my contacts for Twitter. So before we dwell much, maybe you can do one activity, because I think most of the participants have been been engaged, like listening to what the presenters have been saying. So I want you to check on what is on the screen, and maybe do that a brief search. So you can use your devices, the laptop or smartphone, to try and search the Google Internet Awesome curriculum on your device. So maybe that's 3 to 5 minutes, so that you'll be in a position to know, because that's the hallmark of our presentation today, how to be Google Internet Awesome. So maybe you can take 2-3 minutes to search for the Google Internet Awesome. So that one should take you to Google Search and do that activity first. Then you can proceed from there. Thank you. So hopefully 3 to 5 minutes. So be in a good position to know that next time, well, you can search the curriculum. So let's search for the Google Internet Awesome curriculum. You can also interact with it, look at the interface, see what the presenter has been doing, because this is the activity we want to take to our students. So check out the interface, see how it looks, and be in a position. There are many activities in the platform, or geared for the kids. Two minutes to go. 2 minutes. I hope each and every one of us is comfortable now on accessing the site, because that's one of our major objectives today. We should be in a position to access the Google Internet Awesome for Kids curriculum. Be awesome, yeah. Thank you so much. So for undertaking the activity, so we are direct to our topic, and this is very important. What you're seeing on the screen here. If somebody asks you what is a digital citizen, it's very paramount, that one. And as you can see from the board, if somebody asks you what do you encompass, what do you imply to be a digital citizen, and what about our students, our communities? As you can see on the screen, it implies that to be a digital citizen, it encompasses and all people. We talk about students, teachers, the parents, the communities, and it has to do with making a smart choices, both offline and online. So when you talk about online, when you talk about social media, the internet, and in life, what we do. So a digital citizen person who has the knowledge. And actually, there is a debate today from UNESCO talking about some of the human rights. And they think that one of the rights which is supposed to be coming in is the right to have information. All citizens should have the right to get information. So to be creative, to be aware of that. So when you use the internet and other technology devices, digital technology devices, it's our responsibility, as our last presenters said, to be in social and civic activities. So those are very paramount activities we are supposed to undertake. So next time should be in a position to articulate and answer the question that I am a digital citizen. Then if I'm a digital citizen, what am I supposed to do? What are my skills? What are my competencies? So these are one of them. How do you safely use the internet, use the technology and other stuff? How do you incorporate the communities, the students, and everybody's in? So nobody is supposed to be left behind when we're talking about being a digital citizen. So our main objective was talk about media literacy and about fake news. And as you are aware that these are one of the things which are happening. And there's a school of thought which is saying that media literacy is a 21st century skill. It's an essential skill. And even we talk about fake news, you have Kralis talks about what fake news is, so I will not dwell much on it, maybe give a bit definition of it. But the media literacy these days go hand in hand with the fake news. Even after the COVID-19, you have seen what has been happening in all over the world. There is progression of fake news, and such way we should have both competence on media literacy and fake news. So I shall play a small video here, maybe 1 or 3 minutes, to get a brief of what is media literacy. as you can see from small video we have seen here, there is a reason for us to understand what media literacy. So media literacy is the ability to identify different types of media and understand the message they are sending. So kids nowadays, kids are taking a lot of information from their various sources, from mail, TV, radio, newspaper, magazines, and especially the social media. We have videos coming in, the viral messages, advertising, and more. So, what is the reason when somebody shares something? What's the reason for that person of sharing the information, or that be the clip or the information? So that is the basis of media literacy. And we have said that media literacy is supposed to be a 21st century skill. So at this era of the digital age, it's easier for everyone to create media. Why do we say so? We have smartphones, we have laptops, we have all devices with us. So it's possible for anybody to share information on the various platforms, social media. Now, how do you differentiate these messages? How do you learn? What is the purpose? Some of the questions you have to ask yourself, which has to do more with critical thinking. Why does somebody ask to share his or her resources online and other thing? So we have to say that media literacy is an essential skill in this digital age, which is supposed to be undertaken by all of us, understanding. We mean kids, we mean teachers, parents, the community, each and every one of us supposed to be in a position to understand what's media literacy. So, one, what are some of the characteristics which you can want someone have to be a good digital citizen in this perspective of media literacy? When you get a message which has been shared, for example, you should learn how to think critically. So when you see someone has posted or shared, it's your work to, as a 21st century, right from runner, to think critically on what that person intended to. You should be a smart consumer. So unfortunately, most of the people who are in the technology, they are consumers. And we have active and passive consumers. We have two types of consumers. We have passive and active consumers. So in this case, when we talk about smart consumer, we're implying should be an active consumer of information. What do you digest in and you get? What do you put in your brain? Like what they say in computer, garbage in, garbage out, Google. So what you consume in, what you put in your brain? What is it supposed that you are consuming? So if you consume the wrong things, that's the essence. Now, you should recognize the point of view of that person, of the message of God. And then, Christ also talked about creating media. So when you're creating media, you should create media which is responsible. And that one means that you should be a responsible digital citizen. And then, what do you understand the author's goal? Because I said anybody can create. At this era, everybody has you have the gadgets. The smartphone has all the power in your palm hand, all the information in the world. You have got Google search, which is in your smartphone, and you have all the information in your world. So when somebody shares, what is the goal of the author? What does he want to portray? What is the intention? So that's also very paramount. And now, if we go and say that we want to ask our kids some questions on media literacy, which are some of the questions should be in mind? And when you talk about kids, we should not even have a big difference, because we have said that this era, it means all of us are in. So these are the kind of the questions you have to ask yourself. Who created this? You assume that is our video, which has been posted on your social media feed, Facebook. Let's talk about somebody shared on a WhatsApp group, in YouTube. So what are the implications? Who created this? Why did they make this? Who is the message for? Who do you intend that message to be for? So what techniques are you going to use to make sure that this message is credible? Christ talks about checking for example, the website. We are talking about URL. We are talking about having HTTPS. That's one of the reasons we should know that this link is genuine. So most of us tend to forget that one. You want to search, how does it end? Does it end with maybe .com, .org? So those are kind of the things we have to check, and those techniques are with us. to get that this thing is legit. Which details were left out? For example, we are in an era of COVID-19, and somebody maybe is talking about the cure of COVID-19 virus or coronavirus. So that's what they are saying. What kind of the details do you think should be left out and why? And then, what about the message? How is it? How does it make you feel? So those are one of the most important things you're supposed to check. So the most important thing, which is very important for us, and when you're using the devices, when maybe talking about clicking, you're talking about when somebody is having a smartphone, a tab, a laptop, and other things. So those are two maximums which are very important. One, you think before clicking. And when you're thinking about clicking, you're implying that somebody wants to share something. So we've been getting some information. The message is going viral. Like now we have news coming from the US. You understand the power of social media. What happened with the homicide from the police in Minnesota. And their information is circulating online. We have hashtags, various hashtags when you go to Twitter and Facebook, Instagram. So we want to click. You have that easy finger. You want to feel that I have to click this message to go. So one thing, and I think Convenience also talked about that. You should also think before clicking. It's very paramount. And then sharing. All of us, because of the algorithm, the algorithm which are being used in social media from AI, artificial intelligence, they want to make us something like you're addictive. So you want to feel like there's news, you see like, I want to spread this message. So it's like you're having an itchy finger. And now you want to share. So without verification. So one of the most paramount thing is that you should also think before sharing. So those are two maximums. You think before clicking, and don't think about before sharing. So now let's talk about the fake news. We said we need to give the kids, we want to empower them, to amplify their voice. How are they supposed to get the difference between this is a false content, these are rumors, and the other one? So I think from here, you can, because you attacked on the questions which supposed to get the kids on. So one of the things is to research the author. If it's Fred Sago, for example, or Clarice Mwanga, you can go to online because we'll do that activity later. So when we're talking about digital footprint, you research the author. Google is a good as on information almost everyone in the world. So there's no much content which maybe is circulating or is viral. It's not in Google search. So if you use Google search, for example, you research the author, for example, the name, you should get a particular digital footprint of the person. And then you check 2 or 3 variances to authenticate, to check that is this thing really true. So one of the things is to research the author. You have to search the person who has shared that one. And you double check the source. What do you imply by that? Like in Kenya, we have the reputable newspapers, the Daily Nation, the Standard. Let's give those 2 examples, the KBC, the Citizen. So those news outlets or platforms have verification. They do fact finding. So when you hear about news directly, you hear some bloggers sharing some information and straight you share. So you should wait for the news. Be patient to say that one of the most important things, think before clicking and think before sharing. So take your time, like in Kenya, go to your Daily Nation, go to Standard. The good thing is that we are fortunate they're online. Search is a news which is coming. They will get that person or check the source. Next, check on what we call the source. So like when you're talking about the world, see the BBC people, the CNN, and such kind of reputable, the UNESCO stuff, like, so that you can get kids to know how they can get the right information. Now, social media is very paramount for us, and it's with us for a long time. Actually, it's the alternate from the mainstream. Even the mainstream media still have to use the social media. So when you talk about do's and don'ts for discussing social media safety, what are they, for example? So, and this we are implying for the kids. So what do we do for the kids now? What do we tell them when they're in social media? And by the way, the age for kids having a social media account is 13 years. All over. If you look at the Facebook, you look at YouTube, you look at Gmail, you look at Twitter, all of them, if you are 13 years and above, and for the teachers who are teaching in high school, so this is the kind of the age. So what are the do's and don'ts for discussing social media safety? For example, developing culture of communication, and that's one of the 4 C's in the world. I'll talk about creativity, communication. You keep the conversation appropriate. Do make the teenies the expert, of course. So some of parents, they want to use social media as a tool. They want to make it a forbidden fruit. They say, oh, if you don't do this one, I will not give you the phone to use. So the most important thing, like I saw one of the word conference they're having in their platform, is talking about accessibility. How do you access now with caution? How do you give kids now, you allow them to access the social media? With limitations, of course, but don't make it like it's a forbidden fruit so that they cannot use it. And then don't belittle your kids' interest in social media. If the kids have interest in social media, you are talking about the most popular one. They should say that Facebook is for all people. So okay, you get kids in Instagram, you're talking to the kids in Snapchat, this one coming here, TikTok. So where the kids are YouTube, and the amount platform, some are in Twitter. So if the kids want to be in social media, what do you have to tell about that one? And also it should be about monitoring. We have tools for that. Even in our smartphone, we under the platform as tools for monitoring. So that one, it should be. Now, very important thing, remind the kid that the internet is not private and does not forget. So we're talking about screenshots. You can share. By the time you want to put up, that one Chris talked about, that she posted a video of a friend social media. And I don't know, maybe that time we had the era of the idea of a screenshot. So if somebody had taken a screenshot, that's enough. So if you put down the post, that does not help you because somebody has a screenshot and it's going viral. So if it goes viral, then that is it. So if the kids add 2 maximums, you don't click or be careful when clicking or sharing, then do so good. So the internet does not forget, the internet is not private. What you share on the internet does not disappear. Even there's that issue of people are saying that when you die, you have what to call in the European Union, they're talking about the right to be forgotten. So if you die, for example, where does your social media go? Where does your Facebook go? Where does your Twitter go? And unfortunately, I know some of our friends, parents, and even somebody has passed away, unfortunately. And you can see, if you search, you can find that person's Facebook account is active up to now to his account. So what happens? And how do you make that one? How do you make it to want to forget? So there's that, in the European Union, there's that right of forgotten. When you die, you request Facebook to delete all your accounts. You ask Twitter to eliminate your accounts because some of the people passed away, unfortunately. If you search very well on the internet, the accounts are active. Nobody's posting, but they are there. So you should have even that right of being forgotten. So that when you remember, that's also very important for us. Now, we are in the era of COVID-19. And one of the news which has been coming is called infodemic, and that is a term which was coined by the UNESCO because of information which is coming from people spreading news of that we have a cure for COVID-19, how does it spread, how can we help? So now, how does somebody differentiate between facts and opinion? How do you get that to know that this is infodemic? Somebody saying that we had a president from the neighboring country, Tanzania, saying the kid had contracted COVID-19 and he took some oranges and juice and other stuff. So that if you go to church, that virus cannot survive. We have people talking about main cures, the origin. In the US, we're talking about where somebody, the COVID-19 was manufactured in Arab. Some are saying that it didn't jump from the animal to human being. So now, between facts and opinion, which is which? Do you take for the scientific? Are you going to get scientific proof or want to talk about hearsay? So how do you get the facts right? How do you verify? What about the sources? Now, those are very important things. So the pandemic is just, it goes even viral more than even because you can ask, if you look at the map of people who have COVID-19, they are approaching 6 million. But in pandemic, it goes more faster, it's more viral, so it can reach even 1 billion people, which is fake news. And you can imagine if you tell somebody that there's a cure for COVID-19, for example, and from scientific point of perspective, there's no cure for COVID-19. But that person is very satisfied that I had somebody shared in his social media feed. You heard the Facebook, even WhatsApp itself is a social media thing. So you see, even WhatsApp, to make sure that people, you are not sharing more than 20. If you go to WhatsApp and try to share more than 20 groups, it's not going through. You ask yourself why. Why is it that when you share on WhatsApp that you are not in a position to to send more than 20 groups. It's one of the ways to combating infodemic. So infodemic comes in because we have people sharing information in this area, particularly the advent of COVID-19, this coronavirus. So somebody should be in a position to get the facts right and opinion. And we say you should ask the source. Where do you get the source? Do you check scientific proof for the information we're getting? Or somebody says that somebody said who is a leader. If somebody is your pastor, your leader, your mayor, your president said that one. Is it legit? Do you accept also that this is the person what he said? So we have also been talking about, when we talk about fake news, they are almost related because from fake news we got infodemic. That's what we're talking about. And you can see a logo for UNESCO here, and the UNESCO media literacy. It's just working so much to make sure that we want to finish this thing. We say this thing of infodemic, which is from emanating from fake news. So when we're facing the coronavirus, we must cultivate the best of ourselves and rely on science and education to verify any information and share knowledge. So that's from the UNESCO director. That's very paramount. So when we're facing the coronavirus, we must cultivate, you should get scientific proof. Don't say that somebody, like we had the president of America saying that there's a drug when you were young, you used to take a drug from malaria. And there's it's called something chronic. So that is a cure. Even the president of Brazil, Buenos Aires, was talking the same thing. That there is a cure, if you that one you can get. So in our time like this one, you should verify any information and share knowledge. In particular, it should be scientific. And we have even sources. Even KBC, the Broadcasting Corporation of Kenya, can give a news which is verified. So you should also be very careful when you're getting a news. It should be scientific and in education, in nature, so to get that kind of information. So why do factors matter, for example? You look at the infographic here. Why is it that we have to make sure that the factors matter here? And in this particular, talking about COVID-19. This is very important for us. So what I can pinpoint from the infographic here, which are very important, that check if it is accompanied by credible links. So it's a good practice when, for example, you're doing even slides or you're preparing something, to give a link for the person. If you're making a link, you are making some story. So that's because we remember when people do even research, they talk about literature. Someone does local literature and the other one. So it's very paramount for us to do even sometimes give a link which is repeatable. We have said there are some ways you can sustain that the link is okay. This is legit. Look at how does it start? Does it start with HTTPS? And by the way, Google said now it's going to make sure that all the websites, they start with HTTPS. So that is a legit. And you see you have a wrong URL, and you use some tools, like Bit, for example, to make it shorter. So what is inside there? Do you click that link? References, which journal, which book, which authority? Is it UNESCO is an authority, for example? UNESCO is an authority, UN. World Health Organization belongs to UN, is an authority. And some major hospitals and scientific forums. The author's name, what big names people say. Now, there's a rumor which came like Bill Gates was the one who manufactured some, he was in the idea of making COVID-19. It was a rumor which was fake news. Of course, we do agree that he wanted to make money by making corona, and then they research from the pharmaceuticals companies and they make money. So that's one of the things. So you look at the author's name, who's the force? Like in America, there's somebody who has been working over for so many years, working on diseases. It's called Dr. Fauzi. And most people, there's even a poll which was taken and was showing that he's even more trusted in the US than anybody else. So that's an example of somebody who can trust. You have in Kenya even some people who are given awards by the president who are working. So you check on the source, the author's name, for example, to make sure that these are credible. So we have also, there's a link here which I've given, and this is more from Europe. It's called the Media Research Campaign against COVID-19. Of course, we don't mind because we will share the resources later. Those who are on the meetup, don't have to worry on the training, on the webinar. So we do just share. So these are one of the links we have. And look at the URL. Look how it's starting. That's HTTPS, graph, up to literacy. So that is very important also. So it is an example. Like now I've even put the word source. The word source, where did I get the information from? The information is here. And it is, as you can see, it's from the AIF. If you look at this one on the media here, This is from the Europe people. So now let's give some few terminologies on a faster scale before we wind up. So if someone asks you what's fake news, for example, because you have said the infodemic comes from the word fake news. So what's fake news? So this news consisting of deliberate disinformation. And most of the time what it comes, like now, we give the examples COVID-19. So you want to see how the COVID-19, and fake news permeates everywhere. It can be in politics, can be in education, can be anything. So now, we look at the most traditional, when we talk about traditional news media, we are talking about, example in Kenya, we can talk about Standard, the Daily Nation, and when we talk about, those are the what people used to get. And you look at the old people, most of them tend to have to buy a newspaper, hard copy, to go and check. Not, they say, oh, they don't trust what is in the smartphone. So this is a deliberate disinformation, or access spread via traditional media. And there's a reason for people to do fake news. Why? They want to get marriage. It's political reasons, and even for opportunistic tendencies. So there's a reason why people make fake news. So when someone asks you what's fake news, you should remember that this is a deliberate disinformation, and it's coming from the alternative of traditional news media and the other one. And then following the fake news, we have something called also misinformation. Those are one and the same thing. They are almost related. So when we talk about fake news, misinformation also comes in. So we should be very careful to get the basic distinction of the three of them. So what do you mean by misinformation? It's false or inaccurate information. So examples of misinformation include false rumors, insults, and pranks, where examples more deliberate. So some of us will be getting that challenge of getting the difference. What do you mean by fake news? Someone talks this, say this is fake news. Okay. The most common name is about fake news. That's what people are saying most of the time. But now we have misinformation, which is part and family, same family under fake news. So misinformation is part of false or inaccurate information. And then we have also what we call, okay, then this is an example of I put in this one here, of how you can have a book and it helps for the kids. So it's good also to read with a book with the kids, a legit book, and how does it help the kids? For the kids to even to know how to get on, how to understand and what that is. Then we have disinformation. So we have three of them. We have fake news, misinformation, and this is the disinformation. So this is false or misleading information that is spread deliberately to deceive. This is a subset of information which also may be unintentional. So get those three. But I know most of people would want to say fake news. So you have fake news, you have misinformation, and you have disinformation. They are related. In Sweden they say chanda na pete. So they are related, those three. So it should for you to get, but most people don't say that, oh, that's fake news. But you have three. Fake news, disinformation, and the other one. They are more off than related on what is it. But all of them are having the same target. When people do the fake news, they do misinformation, disinformation, or is intended for a purpose. Can be political, can be for religious purposes, for commercial, for business. It should be. It is a tool, actually, it's being used as for a purpose, to gain another thing. So, this is one of the things the UNESCO people is saying, that because you have out of those three, those challenges for fake news, misinformation, and disinformation. So the truth. So information saves lives. That's what they said. So share information. That comes down. That's our duty. You should be truthful, of course. And then now, what's our role here? If you can see from the infographic here, share information that comes from a reliable source. You have talked about examples of reliable sources. Governments and health authorities, such as the World Health Organization, your Minister of Health, or your local health authorities. I know in Kenya, people, they say that some of them don't trust what Cow is saying. They say the number he says every day on COVID-19 updates. It's fake. It's not true. But some people are saying there's no COVID-19. That number, I know the rural president people are saying that is, we don't trust. So now this question here, this infographic, UNESCO is saying that you should trust your Minister of Health. Now that's a question to you. Or do you trust your local government, for example? You ask him that now if he gives a barasa or maybe in the local radio station and he's talking about this world, what do you have to say on that? So that's very paramount also. I will not dwell much on security because Christ talked about what security is, because I think I'm done with the fake news. So I'll just give an overview, but you can see from what you have done, there's a result there, so you can just follow. I will maybe talk a bit about identity theft. Some were talking about sharing addresses, your smartphone, your number, for example, your ATM. For example, can you share your credit card? In Kenya, let's talk about your ATM. Let's just put it because you can have a debit card or a credit card. Can you share your credit card on your social media? That's the question. Can you share it? So people are talking about identity theft. Can you share your birth certificate of your kid? What about your passport number, your ID? What do you think is personal? Your password. How can those be used? For example, you have Huduma number in Kenya now. So kids are going, each and everyone is going to have Huduma number. Suppose your Huduma number is connected to every services from your the PIN number would have everything. Like the US, you have the social security, which has your number, PIN number for the bank, your birth certificate, your number of the college. Because you say that the Huduma number would just connect the kids from because they have the details for the passport, for the admission number, so they'll track the kids. So when you finish with the bank, somebody takes your Huduma number, goes and requests for money, for example, from the micro loans which are there. And you know you have something called CRB, for example. Somebody didn't know that you are taking your this ID to get what the kids are doing. They take the advantage of their mother, they do the ID and they ask for money and they take. So identity theft is very paramount for that day's life. And the same thing goes even your home address. Do you share your address where you live, for example? Do you put your photo and say that this is where I live and put it in social media? So that even now, you have Google Map. Do you put a Google Map to show where you live now? And then you say the conference talked about, say you are going to Dubai, for example, for a holiday, and they have everything. So those are the kind of the things you're supposed to ask. It's very important. Someone can take your identity, steal it, and then you'll be in a problem. There's a source also on that one. So in the security, she talked about that one. She talked about security. I gave an example here. There's an example here, Ash 1990 Kenya. So maybe you can go and try and check in Canal. So you can see how a good password looks. You need symbols, you need numbers, you need uppercase, lowercase. That's a sample of a good password. So you can see how a password should look. And remember, it should be more than 8 characters. I don't know if mine are 8, but yeah, of course there are 8. So your password can even go to 16. But a password should have around 8 characters, should combine simple, should have numbers, should have uppercase and lowercase. That's a strong password. And when you see in social media, what happens is that when you are trying to put in a password, they say this medium, strong password, and other one. Then you have something called the password manager. You have examples, the LastPass, security. Christ talked about tracing also. She talked about two-factor authentication. And this two-factor authentication is in all places. It is in Facebook. Two-factor authentication is not only in the banks. We have WhatsApp has two-factor, Gmail has two-factor, Facebook has two-factor, Twitter has two-factor, all social media, even banks, all these things dealing with security, they have two-factor. It's only that people don't know that. So a good example is Facebook or WhatsApp. So you want to go to WhatsApp, look at the settings, so that when somebody wants to use you want to send somebody, for example, want to install WhatsApp in another phone. If somebody would put your two-factor, it's not easy for that person, even if you have the number. They'll ask him, give us your two-factor. So WhatsApp has two-factor authentication, which is very important for us to have.
Friend, thank you so much. Because of time, we can wind up because there's an activity that we need to do, yeah.
Okay, let me just then peruse on what is remaining there because of time, of course. Okay, let me talk about this one. Is very important also. Digital footprint. This has to do with also, let me just on the board, but we share this one is also very paramount. Your digital footprint, we will not do another activity. And this was an activity we were supposed to do because of digital. The idea here was for you to search your name and look at how Facebook, how Google ranks you. Those are supposed to be an exercise, but we'll do it later. But it's very important to check your digital footprint. Go to search, type your name there, and look what Google gives you stats and see how you look for. It will give you a footprint from Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc., or what maybe your purpose is there. Screen time, very important. So most of us are addicted, of course, on screen time. I know that's a very important thing. Each and every one of us. How many hours do you spend on your device? That's a TV, your laptop, or smartphone. So it's very important for us to know, and for kids, it's very important. And then we have also a division test, which is also very important. because the algorithms which is being used, the algorithms which is being used for the information you get. How do you get your social media feeds? So social media, so artificial intelligence is playing a role in your social media. So when you get addictive, but we are talking about artificial intelligence for good, because it's giving us some of the things which can make you be addicted to some activities. And before I finish, of course, this was the last one. I don't know if I can be allowed to 3 minutes to play this one, because I love this tool, and I know you use it even for screen time. So let me try and play this one. This is the last one, the last slide, and see what.
Hata kuna mtu anataka kuongea juu ya digital footprint, digital literacy. Mimi hata sijui hii yake ni faili nini? Watu wameshaenda na hatujapatia hata watu nafasi ya kureact. Hii ni nini anacheza kwa mimi hata nashangaa ulikuwa umesema I thought it was presenting tena Fred alitokea wapi? Hii sasa hii hata na watu wa discuss. Si ati kuogopa. Sawa. Wacha nimpatie 1 minute alafu nimtoe. Wacha nimwambie astopishe. Fred, thank you so much. I think you can share with us that. So
yes, it's okay.
Yeah, we can give Clarice to wind up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that at least we cover everything that was scheduled for today. Thank you so much for your presentation. And Clarice, kindly take us through the remaining part.
Okay, thank you so much, Rosie. I think you have all seen the importance of fake news. And what we are going to do now is just do the recap of the lesson. And the recap of the lesson that we're going to do, it is going to be more interactive. So one thing I'll want you just to go to your browser, and I believe everybody is using a Google. Just under the browser, you can type, I think, Rosie, you can type it, you can type the joinpd.com.code, and then you space. I will just show you something like this, what you will do. Let me share my screen, because what I'm going to present, I'm going to present something that is going to be very interactive to see if you have been in a position to understand what we were doing. Yeah.
Kindly share your screen so that we are able to see.
Everybody,
Yeah.
What I want, this is not really what I'm going to do, but what you're going to do, I want you to go to your web browser, and on your browser, and on the address bar, just type this, joinpd.com /code. So once you do that, choose the option join presentation. Join presentation in progress. So what we are going to do, I've just said, we want to see if what we have really done, we have brought into practice. So it will be an interactive session, and this is what we are going to interact with. It's going to be in form of questions. It is going to cover all the things that you are talking about, all of them. So I will start by, and you will be asked for a code. So be very keen. Immediately I start my presentation, you will be asked for a code. Let me just give it time, yeah? So from here, I will start my presentation. I'll start my lesson. So I'm going to start it as an instructor. And automatically I must have my email to confirm. It's taking a little bit time to just loading, give it time. Oh, let's hope it will join. It does not like, okay. Let me try and join it the other way. I don't know why it's not joining. I think there's a problem with my internet, but we'll get to it.
As Clarice is trying to join, we would like to thank Fred for taking us through the digital citizenship and media literacy and fake news, and what is important when you're accessing the internet. We have seen that before you click, you have to think. That is hashtag think before you click, hashtag think before you sharing. And we had Francis who wanted to share something as it's loading. So Francis, you can share something you wanted to share with us about digital literacy.
Oh, thank you very much, Rose and Sagwe. That was a very nice presentation. Unfortunately, I have been following this while I'm in a journey. I'm actually traveling. Right now, I've arrived from a vehicle. So very quickly, about media literacy, there is a course that I did on media literacy, a very short course from an online, they're called MOOCs. I think it's much more online shared courses, something like that. And they can give you a certificate for that. You just go to a website called Futureland, FutureLearn or land.org. And that's where you will get very many other courses that you can do. And those courses are certified. Some are free at a certain level. But if you want to get a real certificate, then you have to pay for it. Then Sagwe trickled me a little bit when he says that if I die, I tell the social media like Twitter to cancel my account. I don't know when that happens, but thank you very much. At least you can clarify whether there are settings before one begins to load the account, to sign up the account. There is somewhere they will tell you to get my account in case I am not online for quite some days. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Francis. Kindly share the link. Whatever you have said, you type in the chat so that people can get it.
Oh, thank you so
I will
much.
do that. Thank you very much.
Excuse me, Rosie, a bit.
Yeah, yes, Fred.
Yeah, thank you so much, Francis, for your input. Yeah, it's called the right to be forgotten. So you can write to your Facebook or Twitter to ask them when you die, they can close your account. So you don't know when you will die, but there's that right. And Google Google has certifications also. I know class was going to put on that one. For teacher, there's a certificate. When you do the course for digital course, there's a certificate we're given, the digital one. And also there's for the internet awesome, there's a certificate for kids where you can sign them for them. So there are two certificates. I think she was going to clarify on that for kids and also for the teachers. So when you go to the teacher center for Google, you do the certification. You can also get a certificate which is digital you can use for your curriculum. Thank you so much.
Okay, Rosie, I think I'm set now. Be ready to type in your code.
Okay, thank you. Go on.
Are you seeing the screen?
Yes, we can see the screen.
Yeah, so can you chat? For those people who cannot be, can you type in that code where you are asked about the code so that we can now start our session? Still waiting for the students to join before I start the session. Are you able to see the code? Yeah.
Yes, we can see.
Please, Rosie, advise them to mute their microphone. 2 students. At least if we have around 5 students, it will be okay for me to start the presentation. 4 students.
Yeah. Clarice, because of time, maybe we may not have to wait for all those. We only have 6 minutes to end, yeah.
All right, I've already reached the target. I have 6 students. So I'm going to start the lesson. Remember, I said it's just going to be an interactive session whereby you will just answer a question and I will be able to see on my end if you are in a position to get. So thank you for the 8 students that are already in class. Let me start. So it's going to be Internet Awesome, and I'm going to use the presentation using a peer deck. So mostly what I'm going to concentrate on is going to be sharp, which is smart, be strong, be alert, be kind, and be brave. So welcome for this session, which is going to be very interactive. So can you now read the phrase there, and then you are in a position to answer. I'll be in a position to view, to show your response. I'm still waiting for your response. If you are using a smartphone, okay, good. I can see I have around, those are 2 responses. Good. Where are my other 3 students? Good. 4 students, 5 students, yeah. So I think that is good. 6, yeah. So that is the major thing about that. When a kid are excited about a trip, I've seen the response. It's all of you have gotten the right response. I'll move to the next screen. Please, need your response. Great. That's nice. One has responded 2. Good. 3. 5. Nice. So that is very good. I'll go to the next question. Now that you are password experts, choose the strongest password from the list. So I have I have there, you can choose. Good. Great. So actually the correct answer is B, not Samuel Ben. Samuel Ben, I think that's somebody's name that can be easily hacked up. Okay, so here is about do's and don'ts. So you just drag in the button on the right, and I'll be in a position to see. Those are 2 people. Don't. 3, 4, 5. Those are nice. That's nice. So strong password can be difficult to remember. What can teach your student to make them easy to remember? I want to see your response. Good. That's nice. You are great students. Great students. Great, 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 great. The next one is, this is a do or don't. Use the flag to position it on the right. I will see your response here. Good. Don't, yeah. When you are asked to tick to remember your password using a public, okay. Somebody is trying, that's nice. Okay, that is great. I move to the next slide, which is be alert. So this is how can you detect a website? Can a website or an advert detect if your computer is infected? Let me show the response. Yes, I have 2 responses. Three response, 4. You can see how you are responding. Okay, I will try to emphasize on this. A website cannot, okay, everybody has gotten in. You all disagree. A computer cannot really detect. So you as a person, and I remember Fred talking of garbage in, garbage out. So you should put that into consideration. Computer will just follow the instructions. And that's why we normally say, we call them sometimes they are stupid fools or they are clever fools because they just follow instructions.
Clarissa, we have run out of time. I don't know how fast you're
Okay,
going
just
to finish. Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
We are just almost. I think
She can finish.
Okay.
yeah, I can finish.
All
I think
right.
15 minutes. They will allow me to wind up within the next 15 minutes. Will not be doing them a big harm.
Okay, kindly the participants allow her 15 minutes, yeah, to finish. Thank you.
Okay, continue. Let's continue. Still waiting for your response. Great. Good. So you people are good students. I'm almost winding up. And now this is whereby before entering personal information on a web page, what checks would you recommend your student not to check on? So these are some of the things that Fred was talking about, still about fake information. So let's see how you are going to be. You'll have seen a response. Okay, that is right. Okay, before that, I think I would want to encourage the right answer is none of the above. The student is supposed to check on the date of the published documents, the author, and the URL. So this is something that you have to be very, very, I think the first answer where I have the B, maybe you were checking on what the student should check on. The answer was, what should the student not do? So you find that all of the above, you are supposed to be checking on the date of publish, the author, and the URL. So this one, I think Fred talked about it. Let me see your response. Okay, to make clarification, the right answer is that the S after HTTP is always for encrypted and sealed, the secured site. If you really understood what Fred said on this particular point, he said even the Gmail now are trying to make it, the Google are trying to put in such a way that if your website does not have that S at the end of it, you'll never be in a position to log into it. So that is the right thing. The right thing is choice B. So here now, how ways of being kind online, at least you should give me around 3 ways how you should be kind online. Be polite, be keen, have empathy. Great. Don't use abusive language. Still waiting. These are only 2 responses. How will you be kind? I think this is something that we really talked about. How will you be kind online when you are online? Still waiting for the others' response. Be courteous. Okay, let me go to the next one. What will you do if you find a student posts a photo on a social media platform and you hate how you look in it? Let me see on your response. Great. Okay, that's nice. The most important thing is that when you find such, the right answer is ask the student to delete it. So that marks the end of my interactive lessons with you. And actually, I can rate you to be very bright students because I believe around 80% have gotten the answer correctly. So there are those people who are asking on the website, it's here as what I've now opened. If you want to know where you can get this information, just go to your browser, just type Teacher Center, and remember the word Teacher Center, there should be no space. www.google.com, and you will find all this information, all this. So this one you have, after you have gotten this information, make sure you sign in, because with your account. So in each and every course, in each and every unit, you'll find that each and every unit you're supposed to be taking 13 minutes to know why, digital citizenship and safety, teach the students about privacy, all these that I was teaching here, you'll all find them here. So immediately you are done with it, you will be awarded a certificate of completion. And mostly they normally give it in form of the badge. And I believe I showed you the badge that I got after completion of this course. So I think that marks the end of my presentation. I will stop sharing my screen, and then I go back to the normal screen, and I will now take this particular time. I want it to be now an interactive, maybe just as we will be very precise. Thank you for being patient with me. My participants, I'm humbled. The lesson was supposed to be ending by 5, but being that we had a lot of information to present for you, which was very key, we saw it very important for us to extend with at least some 15 minutes, not bad. So I will take and ask you to tell me how you have felt about the interactive session. Remember, the interactive session is just to recap. So you can either chat so that our moderator will be in a position to read your chats, or you can just unmute yourself and ask for a question, and we will be in a position to attend to it.
We have already a chat from Francis, and he has said,
Yes.
Clarice, TU had a really informative session.
Thank you so much, Francis. I'm humbled.
Yes, Kiare says thank you. Fred, please, Clarice, share your certificate of completion.
Okay, I will do that in just a while. Give me just a bit of time.
Oh, Francis
Okay.
says I meant you. Okay. All right, Clarice, you had a really informative session. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hello.
Let me just certificate so that, yes, unless you can still continue reading chat, or if somebody has any question.
Yeah, can I say something?
Yeah.
There is this app that Clarice has used to interact with us. This one called peer something. I think I've just loved that. It's like something I can use in class to get response from students, whether they have followed what I have done. It can be a part of summative, a lesson summative, and I think, well, it's a new knowledge for me. No wonder I say it's very informative. I'm still walking on the road, so guys, don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
So Francis, that is an add-on for the Google Slides. We had a session about it, and I want to thank Clarice for implementing it in her presentation. That was very good. So I want to continue reading the chats. Philip is saying thank you. It was very informative and beneficial session. Kitui says, we have learned a lot. I will follow your footsteps to getting a badge. That is great. Then we also have Karimi. Clarice, you are a great lady. Thanks for the information. Thank you so much for that. Then we have Michael. Thank you for the presentation lesson, well understood. Gaming. Thank you, Fred and Clarice, for the presentation. Then Kitui says, I use Nanenish. Passphrases. Wow, that one is maybe he is going to explain that. Pendo says thanks, Gig. I have learned a lot. Great. Kitui, okay, is saying in an English paraphrases. I have learned a lot. That is from Peter Miller. So thank you so much. Clarice, I don't know if you have a parting shot because
Okay, let me just share what I've requested I share the certificate so that people can be in a position to see. Let me
yes.
just share it.
All right.
I hope you now see what I'm sharing.
Yes, we have seen. Congratulations.
Yeah, so that is
This is
that
great.
is the badge.
Mhm.
So recognition badge for successfully completing the digital citizen and safety courses. So that is what Fred had wanted me to share. And I think I've really shared it. Unless somebody now, we can still go back and we continue with, in case there's, okay.
Kitui has said a nice and encouraging badge. Francis is congratulating you. Congrats, Clarice. That is a job well done. Congratulations from Pendo. Thank you for sharing. That is from Fred. All right. Thank you so much. Maybe Fred has something to say. Fred, parting shot as people are congratulating Clarice.
Oh, thank you so much for the opportunity. Me, I thank you everyone who has attended, the participants, the moderator, and everybody else. Thank you so much. We keep moving like this, and all those who have participated, we share the resources, and we keep the Kenya going. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Omondi has said congratulations on your achievement. So, Sawe, you are also a great teacher. That is from Francis. We appreciate Fred and Clarice for our job well done. I believe now we are going to be safe online. Then Kitui is saying the lady from Nigeria is most welcome. So keep inviting them, Fred, and ensuring that they also join us in our presentations. And if they have theirs, they can also invite us so that we enjoy what and we learn. Actually, we have learned a lot in the sessions that we have been having. So I don't know. We also have Kiarie around. Kiarie, do you have something to say? Kiarie is the GG leader, Nairobi. Is she with us or she has left? Kiarie? Kindly unmute yourself. Yeah. Oh, she had left. Huh? Okay. Kiari, you have just joined when we were giving you time to say something. You are our GG leader, Nairobi. So kindly say something.
Sorry, I actually left by mistake. It was too near the microphone muting thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Clarice, thank you so much. Your presentation was great. I had a power outage, so I was out a bit for quite some time. Actually, I feel bad. I have missed a lot, yeah? But I will catch up with the recording and make sure that from session. Thank you so much. May God bless you. You're a great teacher. Fred, thank you for bringing us together. We always appreciate these sessions and we are growing, as you can see from your screen. Today's participation is just awesome. Asanteni sana.
Okay, thank you so much. We have our members, Michael. Can you say something? Michael, okay, everybody is leaving when I'm saying I'm giving an opportunity. Sorry for that. Yes, we have Kitui. Kitui is our member. Kindly, yeah. Philip is saying thanks, Fred. Your session was awesome. Thank you so much. Yes. Okay. Yes. Kitui, you have something to share with us? All right. Thank you, Gaming Mambo. This is your first time, Kennedy Luther. We appreciate your presence. Pendo K, Peter Miller, all those. Philip Omondi is a member we have interacted with. Then we also have Karimi. You're most welcome to our sessions that are ongoing. And we want to thank Fred for organizing the sessions and even the facilitators for agreeing to participate. So we are going to end it there. If there's nothing more, we can leave at our own leisure. Thank you so much for being patient. Thank you, the presenters. Yeah, thank you. You are a great team. Oh, great. From Pendo. You can leave your chat behind. We will appreciate as you leave. Yeah, thank you. From Clarice.
Thank you.
Thank you too. Karimi, Karibu, and you can say something. Asanteni,
Yes.
next meeting, yes.
Sabera. I know Sabera can also, she's in Nakuru, and she can join us in this group because she's dealing with the youth, and this topic is very essential for her, plus this platform. She's one of the lecturers at Advent. So, Sabera, please tell us something. Just unmute yourself. Unmute yourself and tell us something. Rosie, are you able to unmute Sabera?
Let me see what Sabera has left. Peter Miller, yeah. Peter Miller, say something. Parting shot.
Unmute yourself, Miller. Great.
Peter, we can't hear you.
Check on your audio, Miller.
So as he's checking on his audio, we can see that Gaming is saying thank you, Pendo K. You are a great team, Clarice. Thank you, Francis and Asanteni. Next meeting.
Sabera is back.
Sabera, karibu. Now you can tell us something. Philip has said, thank you, Rosemary, for wonderful moderation. Wow, thank you for that. Yeah, Sabera, okay, thank you. Philip Miller, Asanteni. Okay, thank you so
Miller,
much.
we have only seen you chat saying Asanteni.
Yes, Sarah,
okay,
now
Sabera, can you now say something? Have you worked on your audio?
Yes, I've succeeded to unmute. I'm using the phone. But I also joined late, but I really appreciate you. You are a great team, and I'm willing to join you. This is a very nice program that can enable us even meet our students out there.
Yeah.
So just contact me on, yes?
Yes,
you are a great team.
Okay, thank you so much. We have heard that you are going to join us and we'll be alerting you on our meetings. So be sure to join us in our meetings. They are usually very informative. Thank you so much. We want to thank Francis. He is a new entrant who is very vibrant. Thank you so much. You want to say something?
And I'm back in the house. I've reached safely, and it really made my day. All of the afternoon, I've planned a lot. And thanks that I came home safely, avoiding all the accidents that people are looking at my phone.
Thank you so much. It's good to have you. And yeah, so Pendo, there is Confidence has come back. Confidence, you have a parting shot. Just unmute yourself and give us a parting shot.
All right, thank you so much, Kenya. Thank you for having me. It's good to be here with you guys, learning from you. I truly appreciate it. I must say I am grateful to be part of you guys. You know, digital citizenship and online safety is something still trying to gain its here in my country, Nigeria. Hearing and learning from you people has been an awesome and an amazing moment. I hope to do more of this with you guys. I'm proud of one of you, and I'm glad I'm learning from you. So thank you so much. Thank you for everybody who is here, who has put this up. You guys are amazing, truly, truly amazing. Love from Nigeria. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Confidence. I believe when you organize such a forum, you're going to invite us. You be sure we'll join. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Clarice. You
Thank
have
you.
something to say?
No, me, I'm just humble. We can now chat until tomorrow, but we can now say what I can say as my parting shot is that I'm very humble. Remember, it is not normal that you organize such a thing and then people attend. You should just thank God for that. You take that opportunity when you organize such a meeting and you find maybe you are 2 or 4 or 5. But I thank God because participants register, the registration of participants today was so certain, just as the way Madam Kerry has said. So we thank you. Just want to remind you that every Wednesdays and Thursday, we normally have such forums where we empower people, and we will give you a link. If you can go to our YouTube, just Google and go to YouTube, just find the Gigi Kenya. You can subscribe to our YouTube. Every time, those sessions that you have not contribution to, they are all representation. So feel welcome. Nothing is mine. You have not lost much. All the information is there. And when you have the information, just as the way it said, information is power. Thank you very much.
Samuel Wangombe is a Gigi leader. Laikipia, he has not said anything. Samuel, kindly say something to us as we wind up. Samuel, are you there with us? Yeah.
Yes, hello. Yes.
Hi, we can hear you. Kindly go on. Yes.
Yes. I was late. I was late to join you. I had other issues to attend, and I'm happy to hear comments from participants. I will also say it as they say. Good work. And I'll view from the link once it is sent. I'll be able to make a follow-up. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Samuel. He did the Google Forms for us, and we want to appreciate. Okay, so now we can leave, and I'll be the last one to leave, kindly. Thank you so much.
I'll be the second last one to leave, being that I was the presenter. I cannot leave my visitors around here. So